a little bit about this. So we came up with the idea to create an on-demand professional development resource library last year. And the goal of the library is to provide curated on-demand content for members of our community. And phase one of this project is to focus on general professional development topics that will assist our community members in navigating the administrative and the business side of your art practices. And then phase two, which we will start in 2021, is to work collaboratively with institute partners, alumni, students, and basically create métier and program specific materials that are a little bit more drilled down, a little bit more specific to, you know, each person's, you know, professional path. We're also hoping that the content for the library will be community generated. And as we continue to flesh it out, community members are welcome to share any content or ideas that they have that they think will be useful to include. So if you look at the folders, the orange folder is our kind of how-to folder. It's where we want people to start. And it's just kind of basics on how to get the most out of this platform, and then also how to utilize the resource library. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys our grant funding basics folder because it's the one that is the most fleshed out. And all of the folders are designed to be sorted alphabetically. So I have all of the materials in the folders sorted with numbers, so they'll flow in a certain way for best use of the content. So every folder will also have an index. So I'll go ahead and open up the index so you guys can see what the index looks like. So in the index, I have the number for each topic, the title of the resource, and then I have a flow of information. So for the grant writing folder, there's an introduction. It starts with kind of an introduction, large picture video just on the basics of grant writing. Then the flow of information flows into understanding funders. And you know, the different folks that are issuing grants and what those organizations might look like. There's several resources on that. The next topic is understanding the types of grants you're applying for. So if you're going for like a seed grant or a project grant, how you might want to structure your language differently, and just understanding that these are kind of standard categories and things. Next are topics on finding grants and just some tips for navigating some of the more common search tools. This next section is kind of a big section for individual artists who don't have nonprofit status, and that's fiscal sponsorship. Most grants want nonprofit status to qualify. So if you work through a fiscal sponsor, you know, as an individual, you may be qualified for certain grants that you otherwise may not have access to. So several topics on that, and then some more details on just like writing, sending a letter of inquiry, writing your grant proposal once you're actually to that point where you've found your sponsor, you've found the grants that you think work for you, getting into the nuts and bolts of writing it, some details on grant budgets, and then lastly, after you get your award, reporting on your award and how you would potentially steward the grant funder to maintain a relationship. So hopefully they give you more money in the future when you apply. So in these indexes, I guess, because there's one for every folder. There's also, so in addition to the index number, resource title, the flow of content, if we feel that a topic might be particularly detailed, there's also some notes on perhaps the video or the section to help the user flow through it. So I'm going to go back into the library. Oh, and you can see too, they're all kind of numbered and it just corresponds together for, yeah, all the topics. So this one is particularly complicated. There's 23 resources in it. Some of them are a little bit easier, like the LinkedIn, you know, that one doesn't take as much explanation. It's kind of a little bit more intuitive. But yeah, this is basically the resource library, and I'm really excited to work on this project, and I'm excited to see it, you know, grow in the future and to see where it goes.